Hello everyone, this is Sheree. How's everyone doing today? Welcome to my channel. I am on a journey of moving my craft room from downstairs in my house to upstairs, and during that journey I am doing some destashing and making up some bundles of things that I feel like I can part with. As far as I have to part with some things because I just have too many of certain things. Like I love vintage sheets. These are vintage sheets that I've picked up through my thrifting adventures over the years, not even recently. But yeah, I love them. I've crafted with them. I still have more. This is not all of them. But I'm starting with these bigger pieces that I haven't cut up yet, and then I'm going to get to smaller pieces. And I'm destashing, as you have seen if you've been watching my channel the last few weeks. I've made up some bundles of linens and doilies. I'm still going to be doing some of those. I'm just going through everything, you know what I mean? And then I also have a bin or, a tote of fabric. So I'm going through that I haven't brought up yet. So these, as I go through things before I bring them up, I'm figuring out, what I have too much of and doing some destashes and bundles and things. So this right here that I have in front of you and me is a bundle of vintage sheets, and I figured it out that this will fit in a medium flat rate, USPS priority mail box. So that's what I'm thinking I'm going to put it in. I do have one big envelope, so not one big envelope. I have a big envelope that I use at times. It's a big bubble envelope, my own packaging, you know what I mean, not USPS. So I could try it on that. I'm going to mail it the least expensive way I can, but I did weigh it and put it that weight in my eBay listing. So when in the end, if it comes out to be too much, somehow it doesn't charge, eBay doesn't charge exactly what I see on there. It depends on I think it depends on maybe your zip code type of thing. But in the end, if it does your whatever eBay charges, whoever might want this bundle, if it charges more than it costs me, you know what I mean, once I get it all packaged and weighed in the end to your address, I refund the difference. I if you bought from me before, it might take me. I usually do it right away, but sometimes it takes me a couple days because just busy girl here. Work full time, have a house to take care of, moving my craft room, crafting, all the things. I have a family, so that we spend time together. We do things. So I do have a little bit of a life here. But let me show you what I've got. So, yeah. This is, first of all, there's two smaller pieces in here. This is a piece that I cut off the end. I just thought it was too pretty not to include in this particular bundle. All the other pieces are like fat quarter sizes. So this is all the whole sheets, 3 whole sheets, flat, 3 whole flat sheets and a couple of pieces. So this is one of the pieces I apparently cut off the end of a sheet, like the little hem they have at the front end. And so that's what this is. And it's gorgeous. And so it's actually 2 layers that you can unfold. I think, let me see. Or maybe it's 1 layer. No, I think it's 2 layers. See, it starts out 1 layer. Then you have some lace here that you can take off if you want. Some pretty lace right here. And then this bottom part right here, this is 2 layers down here. So if you cut it apart, take it apart, you actually have 2 layers. And it's just a gorgeous flower. And, you could even cut apart this. You could cut right here where this part meets this. See this part right here has a little stripe on it. And you could even cut that part apart and use this together, the lace and this piece, and then do something with, unfold the 2 layers here, and you'll have all this. But see, I hope the color is coming through on the camera. It's a pretty yellow flower. You've got little green leaves. The background is white, and a little bit of orangish there in the middle. So it was just too pretty not to include here. And then here's another One thing when I was buying the vintage sheets, I got to a point where I think I have enough now type of thing. So I haven't been buying any lately, but I had to really catch my eye. You know what I mean? And I had to be, have that feeling like, wow, that is really pretty, like kind of a wow feeling. You know what I mean? To buy it, I wasn't just buying all the vintage sheets I saw. I just had to have that little wow factor. So this one has this pretty colorful sheet. I mean, a floral on it. They're all florals, and this is a good size. I don't want to. I have these folded so they fit in the box, so I don't want to unfold them too much. But it's a good size piece. It unfolds and unfolds and unfolds, although it's not a whole sheet. This piece here, so that's what I'm calling a smaller piece. But it is a big piece that you can unfold several times. So it's not a whole sheet. That's why I'm calling it a smaller sheet, or a smaller piece, but it's several layers. So those are the two smaller pieces. So these are the whole sheets here, 3. So here's this one. This one is gorgeous because of just the look of the flowers. And remember, I don't know, I didn't unfold these even all the way. Well, one I did unfold all the way. Which one? I think this one right here. I unfolded all the way when I took it out of the bin because I refolded it. One of these I unfolded and refolded so I could get it nice and evenly folded and get everything in the box, because believe me, that wasn't easy. So just keep in mind, if you do get this bundle, I did get them from, I think I got all of these. I don't think I ever actually bought any from estate sales. I got all of these from, I would buy them from the thrift store. I would bring them home and wash them. And then I have a bin where I've kept them, like a tote, plastic tote with a lid on it. So they've been washed and protected in that bin ever since I brought them home. But just keep in mind, what I'm saying is that they're at a, they might not be perfect. You might find a little something on them somewhere. I don't know. I didn't unfold them again. But when I did wash them, I know there weren't any like giant stains on them or anything like that. I wouldn't have, in the thrift store even, I unfold them and, look at them. And then when I bring them home and wash them, they're unfolded and I look at them. And, if there was a big stain or something, I would have cut it up. But I probably wouldn't have bought it if there was a big stain. So don't worry about that. But I'm saying there might be a little something somewhere. I don't know. But gorgeous. I just love the flower colors on here, the leaves and everything. And there's one thing I really love on here is these little, they look, I don't know, they're supposed to be leaves. I guess they're supposed to be leaves, these right here. But they almost look like little pea pods. I think they're really gorgeous. And you've got all the colors here. Yellow, pink, and a little violet color. So these pretty greens that are in here. So see, there's a little something right there. I don't know what that is. Right there too. So you can wash it again when you get it home. But yeah. So I'm just saying, things are at the thrift store for a reason. They're probably not perfect, but we cut them up and use them. Unless you're gonna use a sheet on your bed, you know what I mean. So I bought them to cut them up and use the pieces. You can make little pieces, you can make big pieces, but let me show you one more thing. So yeah, this is the whole sheet. I don't know what size they are. They might be twin. They might be full. They might be queen. I don't know. But I just wanted to put my hand under here and show you, it is sheet material. So it's not like a cotton where you can't see through it. You can see this through this one barely. I don't know if you can see my hand under there at all. But yeah, I just wanted to show you the thickness. These other two are, I'm not saying they're thick. This one's a little thicker, actually. I don't know. This one might have more cotton in it. And then, of course, that other one's 2 layers that I showed you, that other piece. And then here's the next one, whole sheet. This one has white. They all have white backgrounds. And here's this one. It's got this pretty kind of green grid around it, like diamonds. See that? The green border and then little leaves and this little pattern here. So kit and caboodle there of that one. It's a lot of fabric. So that one with that, well, it's orangish. Oh, I wanted to show you the thickness too. I want to see if I can see my hand through it, actually. I just thought of that while I was sitting here. That's that one. Can you? I guess they're all about the same, aren't they? Can't really see my hand through, but my hand's that color, so I don't know. I'm just trying to show you the best I can what these are all about. And then this is the last one. So there's three, like I said, three. Where's the third one? Oh, here it is on the bottom, right there. That's the third one. The third big piece, and then the two smaller pieces. And then this is the third whole flat one. This one's gorgeous too. It's got the white background. And then, if you can see, all over the background is these little yellow polka dots. And then the green with the yellow, I'm going to call them roses. So you got the bigger rose, not big, but you know, there's a tiny one. And then there's some bigger ones all over this one. This feels like it's got a little bit more cotton. And then this one, this feels like, I don't know where the tag is to tell you what the fiber content is, but it just feels thicker, a little thicker. The cotton ones that I'm saying is cotton, which I don't know, but just they feel thicker. Like this one feels thicker. This one feels thicker. And this one feels pretty thick too, actually. I guess this feels like the thinnest one. This feels like the thinnest one. And then, let me put them back over there. Yeah, I was folding them, stacking them different ways to get them in the box because at first I thought, oh, I'm only going to be able to get two in there. These are, look, I mean, see how thick they are? That's a lot of fabric. And I was like, no, I am getting these in here. So I folded them, stacked them different ways, you know, here, you know, this way, that way. And I got all of these in one box. So, yeah. But anyway, here's that one. And I'll show you my hand underneath. But tons of fabric there if you would like some fabric for your stash. But here's my hand underneath that one. So if that helps you at all, I don't know. But yeah, this one I really think is gorgeous too. I love the yellow polka dots and the roses. They're very pretty. And you know, you can kind of make a little patchwork with these. Use each sheet, you know, to make little patchworks and cut little pieces, or cut big pieces and use them for a whole journal cover, pockets, just all the things you do with fabric, you know, clusters, just whatever your heart's desire. You'll have plenty of fabric here. So it is available in my shop. I only have, this is going to be the only, I'm going to have some more sheet bundles probably, but they're going to be like fat quarter size or even smaller. But so this is the last and only whole sheets I have. So just FYI, this won't happen again, and I'm not going to buy any more because I'm going to keep, you know, a lot of the fat quarters that I've already cut up for myself. And so stay tuned for the fat quarters and smaller pieces. But this is going to be the only big sheet destash because this is all I have, and I'm not getting any more because I have plenty. So I have to. I've put, in the last few weeks even, I've put some in my cart at the thrift store. And I'm like, no, I cannot bring these home. And I put them back, you know. And like I said, they had to be really, for me to bring them home even in the first place, I really had to see something about them that I loved. You know what I mean? And that's what I saw in these. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little destash. And I'll see you in my next video. Have a great day.